All right. In this sentence, there are, I can't say is, I'd say are because it's plural. There are quotation marks. Okay? Quotation marks tell you specifically what somebody said. Quotation marks are used in 3 different ways. And we're going to talk about those 3 ways today. Tomorrow I'll probably have us practice them. I was going to have us practice them. I don't know if we'll have enough time. All right? So, one of the ways is this. Okay? I'm going to use the word dialogue to mean the things that people are saying. Okay? I'm going to use the word tag, T-A-G, to refer to who is speaking. All right? So when we have dialogue, you always have to know who is saying it, right? Okay. They do that in 3 different ways. Okay? One way, this thing's doing the thing where it's not. There it goes. That's weird. Sometimes it doesn't want to be. There it goes. All right. Don't do that. Oh, that's why. You're messing it up. Okay, don't put your hand up there.
I did?
Yes, you did. Well, but you were waving your hand in front of it on purpose. So, all right. So, the 3 ways are this. Sometimes they'll tell you the tag. Then they have the dialogue. Okay? Sometimes they tell you the dialogue. Then they add the tag. And then the last way is this. Sometimes they're going to, Brody, if you want to keep that, put it in your bag. All right, sometimes they do this. They start the dialogue, then they add the tag, then they give you more dialogue. Okay? And I use a whole bunch of different quotation marks to kind of mark how this is going to happen. Okay? If they use the tag first, they're going to tell you who's speaking, put a comma, start the quotation marks, say what the person's saying, add the end mark, and then put the closing quotation marks after it. Okay? So, I'll just do this. Let's pick somebody. You say something. Who's number 6? What would you like to say? I don't know. There we go. Let's do that. Courtney shrugged. Oops, I'm going to run out of room. Let me try this differently. Courtney shrugged, comma, open quotation marks. I don't know. Period, close my quotation marks. Do you notice the said is dead word? What did I use instead of saying said?
I don't know.
No.
Another quotation marks.
No?
Shrugged?
Yeah, I used the word shrugged. Now, do you actually... Somebody show me what shrugging is. What does it mean to shrug? Yeah, it's when you do this thing, right? So, Courtney shrugged. I don't know. See how that made the sentence more vivid? It kind of was like, ooh, now I totally see what Courtney's doing. Okay? So Courtney shrugged, comma, open my quotation marks. Now I'm going to say her words. I don't know. End mark. Close quotation marks. Okay? That's one way to have people speak in a book. This is the way I like the most, because when you're reading, it tells you right away which character is speaking. Because you know how I like to do different voices for characters? You've heard me probably use the wrong voice before, right? Where I start reading in the wrong voice and then it says who it is. And you're like, oh no! And I go back and reread it. That's this kind. Sometimes they tell you the dialogue, then they tell you who said it. Like, who's number 8?
Declan.
Oh. Sorry, Declan, you're not here. All right, who's number 3?
Me.
Do you have something to say?
Crazy bananas.
Well, beat something that's like real. Like, give me a sentence.
Where are my shoes?
There you go. Here we go. Open my quotation marks. Oops. Okay. Where are my shoes? Okay, now, here's the thing. The thing he's saying is a question, isn't it? When you do the dialogue first, usually you're going to have a comma if it's a period, but in this case, because it's a question, I actually do need to use a question mark there. Okay? If the dialogue is first, you're normally going to have just a comma before the tag. But when it's a question, or which other kind of thing do you think? That has a different end mark than a question.
Exclamation mark.
Yeah, if it's strong feeling and it has an exclamation point, you would do that too, okay, instead of a comma. All right, so where are my shoes? And I could say asked Brody, but that's almost like said, isn't it? Does anybody have a more interesting word we could use there? What could be maybe more interesting? Liam, what do you think?
Wonder.
Oh, I like that. That's a good one. And then I'll put my actual period to end that sentence. Okay? So, where are my shoes? Brody wondered. That's way better than ask Brody, isn't it? Yeah. Did we have something different that could have been a good said as dead thing? William?
What when he says dead thing, it's more on opinion on that sentence.
Okay.
It kind of makes me think that he was just thinking it, not actually saying.
Okay, so could you say Brody thought? Yeah, if you think it's just a thinking thing, you could do it in quotation marks and still have him thinking it. What were you thinking?
I was thinking we could do, where is my new backpack?
Well, but I just want something for this. Okay?
Brody yelled.
Okay, yeah. Where are my shoes? Brody yelled. In that case, I would probably exchange that for an exclamation point because he's yelling it. And I'm going to show that he's doing it with an exclamation point. By the way, you're really not technically allowed to use the question mark exclamation point at the same time. You have to choose one. Okay? People will know it's a question because of this word. And the exclamation point will tell them that he's going, where are my shoes? Right? Okay? How would you do it, Brody?
I'd say, look.
Well, where are my shoes? Brody looked. Yeah. I know what you're trying to say, that you're trying to look at the same time.
I'm trying to, seem really awesome.
Yeah, but this has to kind of be more about what you're saying. So I could do this. If you can't find your shoes, how many of you sometimes do this? And you're kind of exasperated. What do you call that? Doing that?
Side.
Yeah, so maybe I could say, where are my shoes? Brody sighed. And that gives me more of an idea of how he said it, right? Okay, now the last way that we can use quotation marks is kind of the most confusing way. And that's flopping the tag right in the middle. Make a decision, stick with it. Okay. Who's 14? What do you want to say?
Can I have a cat?
Here we go. Ready? I'm going to use your because you're going to start out that way. Because how many of you, if you really, like, I know for a fact if you ask this, the answer is going to be no at your house. So you probably are going to be a little bit like, I shouldn't ask, but I'm going to ask anyway. How many of you ask things sometimes by starting with because you know the answer is probably going to be no, but you're going to ask anyway? Can I have that donut? Okay? You might do that. So watch what I'm going to do. And now she's trying to think of a good way to say it so that the answer is going to be yes. What do you call that when you're kind of trying to cook up a good idea of how to do something? There's words for that. What do you think? Ooh, I like schemed. Schemed Lily.
I didn't know you were asking me to put it into a sentence or else I would say something different.
Oh, okay. Okay, because she's actually asking a question, we end with the question mark. Okay, and it's inside the quotation marks. So these are the 3 different ways that we can do this. Now, we're going to do some things with this, and you're going to actually practice writing some dialogue and actually marking some dialogue. But keep that in mind. There are 3 ways that can happen. I might even have us grab some books and look for dialogue and see if you can find the 3 different kinds. Ooh, that'd be a good assignment. Find. Well, it's not that hard, because what are you going to just scan for? What thing would you just scan for if you had to find dialogue? Say it again. Sometimes you scan for that, but if I'm specifically looking for dialogue, what am I going to set my eyes to look for? Searching for. Yeah, I'm going to search for quotation marks. So I'm not going to read everything. I'm just going to go quotation mark, quotation mark, quotation mark, quotation marks. Found one. And the first one you find is going to have to be one of these, right? Then you might have to kind of search harder to find the other ones. Okay? Yes?
What if that one person doesn't use like 3 photos?
Well, then I don't know. We'll see. We might do that. We might not. Yes?
How long until Thanksgiving? Now.
2.5 weeks. Kind of. No, not even that. It's almost exactly. On this Thursday, it will be 2 exact weeks till Thanksgiving.
For a reason I thought it was 1, but
No, longer than that. Brody, real quick. Okay, can you stay over in your zone?
Usually the dialogue that's used, the tag in the dialogue that's used most for the dialogues in the front and the tag is in the back. That's the one that's
They do kind of do that a lot. And it's kind of the annoying one because you don't know what kind of word to
What
use.
are my shoes?
Okay? All right. Is this about Thanksgiving?
No.
Okay, what?
Why are you using tags in this event? Why are there 2 tags that are in the back and that one's in the front?
Well, this one's in the front because the tag is going to be in the front on this one. And then this one's underneath. So the tag at the beginning, and then what they say, and then the tag, part of what they say, the tag, and then the rest of what they say.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay. All right. Okay, we have art coming up next. So for now, if you have anything out that doesn't need to be, get that cleared off, and I'm going to turn this on.